Packages. Go to Inventory, Packages, Maintain Packages. From this screen, we can control any of our packages, from alignment packages to tire install packages, air conditioning, brakes, your fluids, anything that you want to come up as a package. So you had, for example, brake fluid exchange. You'd have your brake fluid, the labor, and then disposal fee for the brake fluid. All three, you just click on the package, all three comes up. Let's take a look and see what's under download packages. Okay, so these are preset packages that were designed a few years ago. There have not been any more added, so if you add these to your system, there will be no more to download. But for EGR, for example, we wanted to add that to our system. We can go either just add package here on the top right, or add package and edit. If I click add package and edit, I'm able to obviously modify the different things inside this package. Now, let's go over the package screen. This right here, there's a lot here. Package type. If you, under lookup codes, add in the different types of packages, it'll sort it. So that way in the package menu in POS, on the top right, you can click on fluid services or brakes, and only those ones that have this label will show up. So EGR would go under probably, I don't know if we have a category for this one. Undercar, underhood services is probably the best category. It is not a tire package, so we don't need to select that. If there's going to be a label, you create a label. I don't know what label you'd have for an EGR, but you can add a label that would automatically print if it's set up that way. Default rec code. If the customer declines this package, you delete it, put it on a sub-estimate, and then invoice it. This would show up on your rec code report. That way you can do your callbacks and whatnot. If we want to put in our pricing here, we can put it in a default price or make it calculate from any part number in the catalog. This right here will be pulling up from the catalog, so I would just leave this as a calculated item. MSL, this column CALC will calculate. If I have it turned to yes, it's going to calculate from whatever's plugged into the MSL labor or service item in the store's service file. So if I have two stores and one store has a labor rate of $100 and the other store has a labor rate of $120, that would automatically pull from that store's labor file instead of having it calculate here. So in this case, I would leave it as a yes and leave this blank, so that way the multi-store group can have different labor rates per area, per location. This line item here under DESC, description, if I turn this to yes, since this is a cataloged part, whatever description is in the catalog, it's going to pull that and put that on the invoice. Okay, same with labor, since it's going to look up the catalog labor. If I leave it as a no, it's going to use this description here. If I turn this to a yes, it will pull the description for whatever the catalog says and put it in the description field here. Out the door, OTD is out the door pricing, so that way it'll give you the total out the door with sales tax. In this here, you've got use package total as a fixed price as well. If I turn this on, I can create a package, and let's say I want it to be $1,000, and then I click on the labor line. So what this would look like in the POS, if I were to change the EGR price from whatever it was, let's say it was $500, which means the labor would be $500 because the package total is $1,000. If I change the EGR price to $700, it would reduce the labor to $300, so it still equals $1,000. And the other way around, if I increase the price of the EGR valve to $900, it would reduce the labor rate to $100, so it still stays the same price. It will not allow you to modify the price of the labor itself, because that's what we have is for the flex pricing. That's what's gonna flex anytime the price changes. Okay, so it's a way to kind of control your package price so it can't be controlled. You could do this on a on a brake fluid exchange, for example, because if they can't change the price on any of it if it's always set at $79.95 or $99.95 or whatever that price may be. Now, in the lower portion of the screen, you've got allowed stores. This will let you pick whatever stores you want this package to be available at, or you can just click on add all stores if you want this package to be at all locations. Delete store is pretty obvious. If you don't want a store to use it anymore, or you want to delete all stores, you delete them store by clicking the delete store button. Let's take a look at the lower portion of the screen here where it says spiff amount. I can plug in any dollar amount here if I want to do a spiff for this package. So if I were to use this labor line, the employee wouldn't show the spiff, but if I use this package, the employee would show the spiff on the spiff report. This right here is a date range that you can make this package available for the store to use. So if you want to do a promotional oil change, you could put in a weekend or a week or a month or a year, whatever, and then once that time frame ends, that package will no longer show in the store side. Part lookup. If we click on part lookup, this right here will add whatever you're looking for from the catalog. So if I wanted to do an oil change, for example, I'd use either standard, synthetic, high mileage, or diesel, and I would add that to the package, and now it's going to tell me, or it's going to go to the catalog and look up the oil. It's going to go to in this case, it's going to go to the oil picker. That's the type of standard oil, and lets you choose the different weights of oil for that particular item. If we want to do a ABS pressure hose, then it's going to go to the catalog and look up the parts that are available from the MCL and allow you to add those to the repair order with the correct cost and MSRP or list price that you choose. If I want to do a labor line, I would add the labor line for whatever category that we're going to add it for, and then I can either leave it as just a standard service item and put my price in, or I can click on add labor time and then have it catalog that labor time. Let's just select AC compressor, for example, and then it puts this cat number here, so that way when you use this package, it'll go and pull the catalog labor for whatever part you selected in that screen, the labor time screen. If I want to add just a note, I can add a note by clicking that button. Now, a comment or a note cannot end a package, so we'd have to make this part of the initial sequence call this and make the labor line the very last thing by changing the sequence in the left, so that way it doesn't end in a comment. Delete is pretty obvious. If I want to delete something, I delete it. And then OK would save it. Now I'm just testing this package, so I'm not going to save this one. But if I were to save it, then it would go into this screen here, and it'd be available for me to either edit or delete or add a copy to. I wouldn't delete a package. It's not ever a good idea to delete something from a database. And that's pretty much a detail of a high-level overview of the package screen. I'll do another video on how to add a package as well as modify existing packages.